Max Verstappen took control of the F1 Drivers' Championship by scoring his 7th win of the season today in Paul Ricard. Charles Leclerc crashed out while leading, making it an easy victory for Red Bull. But it could have been an even sweeter day for the team had Sergio Perez not lost out on a third-place finish to George Russell in the closing stages. But was an FIA glitch the reason that Perez missed out on that podium? From Paul Ricard, welcome to the latest edition of Paddock Packdown. So the closing stages of the race saw Perez and Russell scrapping for third place finish. They'd been joined by Carlos Sainz initially, but he had to pit to serve his penalty after Ferrari wanted him to take a fresh set of tyres for the final stint. A lot of Ferrari strategy confusion there, but in the end it boiled it down to Perez and Russell fighting for third place. Now we saw the two of them get quite close and actually make contact going into the Mistral chicane as they were battling for that position. But the real deciding moment in that fight came in the closing stages when the virtual safety car was deployed after Zhou Guanyu had to park up at the side of the track due to an engine misfire on his Alfa Romeo car. As always with the virtual safety car period, it slows all of the cars down on track until the crash or incident, or in this case Zhou's car, has been cleared. At that point, there is always a message given from the FIA to all of the drivers and all of the teams saying the race will soon resume. The rules always state that once this message is given, there is a 10 to 15 second window between the FIA informing the teams and the race actually returning to green. But it's totally random. You don't know when exactly between those 10 and 15 seconds things are going to go back to green. So once Zhou's car had been cleared, the FIA sent this message out to all of the drivers saying that the race was about to resume, meaning they had that 10 to 15 second window to get ready for the resumption. Naturally, you're all looking at your steering wheels, getting ready to go back green. But that never actually happened. They had a longer wait. And then in the end, there was a second message from the FIA saying that the virtual safety car was ending. Very strange getting that twice coming up on the race control feed and on the dashboard, so a bit of confusion for all of the teams there. When that call was given for the race to go back to green, Russell immediately went past Perez. It looked like he caught Perez napping. It was a very, very easy move as they were coming through turn 14. They'd had such a close fight, but in the end, it looked like Perez was, not really aware of the race going back to green. Russell swept past, and in the end, that's what got him third place and Mercedes' first double podium finish of the season. After the race, Perez wasn't very happy about it. He said that the information coming through on his dashboard from the FIA was totally wrong, and he felt that it was a shame that such a mistake had ultimately cost him a third place finish. Christian Horner, he spoke about it as well. He said Perez has struggled a bit more with pace all weekend, particularly compared to Max. But he too was a little bit frustrated and said it'd be good to hear from the FIA what exactly had happened, said it was a glitch, and for them to explain why there'd been two of those messages, and ultimately the issue that had led to Perez losing that podium. So what actually happened there? The FIA put out a statement after the race confirming there'd been a hardware issue that meant the virtual safety car ending message had to be put out twice instead of once. Now this was because the initial hardware that was dealing with the virtual safety car had a complete failure. That meant the backup hardware had to step in, but it hadn't already registered there was a virtual safety car, so it couldn't just end something that wasn't already there. That meant that once it had finally got up to speed, finally worked out what was going on, that it sent out that second message saying the virtual safety car was coming to an end, hence the bit of confusion for the teams on the pit wall. And that's probably what caught Perez out. The gap that's normally meant to be 10 to 15 seconds was actually 59 seconds, so a really long wait. You're wanting to know what's going on, when are you going to go back to green? And that is probably what meant he was a bit confused in the cockpit as to when the race was actually going to get back going again, and allowed Russell to make such an easy move. But ultimately, I think the onus is still on the driver. It's still for them to be really, really watching with an eagle eye about when it is going to go back to green, when they can get back on the power. You know you want to stay within the time deltas to avoid a penalty. You've got to go slowly enough to make sure you don't exceed that speed. But you still got to know, look, we might be going back to green very, very soon. I better get ready, get on the gas, and be ready for that. Now, Russell was completely on it. He backed off a little bit towards Perez, and then the moment it went to green, he was on the gas quickly. He accelerated very, very well. And he said afterwards that the fact that Perez was going so slowly, combined with him going so quickly, meant that the move looked actually a bit easier than it really was. But he did say it got a little bit tasty, was the way he nicely worded it after the virtual safety car did come to an end. Perez wasn't very happy, but yeah, I do think the onus has to be with the driver there. Ultimately, everybody did get the same information. There was that confusion about the two virtual safety car ending messages, but I think he needs to just be very ready, very vigilant, and ultimately that's probably what cost him the third place finish, not so much the FIA glitch. It meant that it was a very good day for Mercedes getting both cars up on the podium. But we did hear a moment where Toto Wolff actually intervened over the radio and told George Russell after the contact with Perez, when Russell said he thought it was my corner, he thought I should have been ahead at the Mistral chicane. Wolff said, look, just keep your head down, keep hunting him down, we'll get him, get the move done on track. It's not often we hear Toto coming over the radio. We had it a few times last year when he was giddying up Valtteri Bottas, or maybe talking to Lewis Hamilton. But yeah, to hear him talking to George, I think that's a first. George said after the race he actually quite enjoyed hearing from Toto. He said it was, quite rare, but it's always nice to hear the boss getting over the blower. But I guess it's your boss, you're not going to say anything otherwise. But Toto, he said that he thought George was maybe going around in circles a little bit, was stuck in a little bit of a loop just over being annoyed that he hadn't been allowed to keep the place, hadn't got the move done. So he just wanted to calm him down, assure him that the move would be done in the end, he would get third. Lo and behold, he did, with a little help from the virtual safety car. It's been a great day for Red Bull here at Paul Ricard nevertheless. Max Verstappen 63 points clear at the top of the Drivers' Championship. Red Bull 82 clear in the Constructors. It's looking like things are going their way. We've got one more week to go until F1 finally breaks up for summer. We'll be there at the Hungaroring in 7 days' time with another episode of Paddock Packdown.